Hey everybody, it's Yusef for Dad's Free Time Game Reviews, where I review the games that I play when no one needs me. Today's game is Dante's Inferno for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. So at the time that God of War became super popular, of course there was going to be a lot of people that followed suit on the God of War, coattails. A lot of games did what they could to try to make the game seem gruesome with the combos and everything like that. Dante's Inferno was the only game that actually looked like it had enough effort put into it to stand off on its own. The Dante's Inferno is a poem about a guy who goes after his wife in hell and has to go down 7 levels of hell or something like that. Anyway, it's one of the more interesting poems because it's supposed to be a comedy, but if you mash that up with God of War stuff, it ain't a comedy anymore, which I thought would make it interesting. Anyway, does it live up to the hype of God of War? Dante is a soldier during the Third Crusade. A little backstory. The Third Crusade is a war in which European leaders try to get back the Holy Land from Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, aka Muslims, because at the time this is made, we don't like Muslims. Now it's Nazis, Russians, and North Koreans, I think. I'm sure we'll cycle back to Muslims at some point. Anyway, one of the lands that the Christians were successful at taking back was the land of Acre. Dante was involved in that one, during which a Catholic priest pre-absolved all of the soldiers of their sins. No confessions. So Dante took that as his chance to be a ginormous douche. All of which somehow leads to his virgin wife being murked with a sword and taken by the devil to unvirginize, if you know what I mean. Dante isn't having it. So he follows the devil through the 9 circles of hell to get back his sweet, sweet Beatrice. I love this story. It plays off so many things. Dante is an asshole, like a huge asshole. Given the chance to be an asshole without consequence, he went full-on douchebag, then tried to return to his wife like nothing happened. But he eventually has to face consequences regardless, because apparently, even with God's forgiveness, in air quotes, there is still karma. Dude, the only person on the planet that thinks Dante is great just got killed because he's a jerk. That is such a crazy concept that is replayed on so many tragic hero origin stories. Spider-Man, Punisher, depending on what story you know, The Flash, Arrow. It's really cliche to tie the hero's history into a sequence of events that just happen to affect his present status. That way you can prolong the story with needless flashbacks that no one really cares about. Oh crap, this story is supposed to be 13 episodes long and we have 4 episodes of real story. Flashbacks. New bad guy. Nothing is a coincidence anymore. But most of the time, the writers get messed up trying to insert more crap and still make it matter to the plot. It's ridiculous. But this game has done everything right. It has 9 levels of hell. Dante did something that qualifies him for every level, and now Beatrice, the only woman he really cherishes, knows everything. Watching Dante's masculinity and self-righteousness get shaven off layer by layer, literally and figuratively, is greatness. I totally recommend this game as a story experience. Or you can watch the cartoon EA made, I guess. Dante has basic combos he can do with his scythe, which is the only melee weapon he wields in the game. He also has a long-range attack with Beatrice's Chastity Promise Cross. Dante can throw small enemies and ride huge ones because the Death Scythe has a mind control feature of some sort. I don't know. Dante has a block and a really nice evasive maneuver, one of my favorites in gaming. He has a weak-ass double jump and can't hold on to ledges. The way you level up is by killing baddies. You use the points from that to buy new moves. To unlock better moves, Dante judges people and demons by punishing them with Death's Scythe or absolving them with Beatrice's Cross. Those points you get go to the corresponding unholy and holy meters, which level up your moves only on that side. The bosses aren't bad, but boy are they spongy. Seriously, I love fighting the normal bad guys, but the bosses took so long to beat I was torn on what difficulty to set the game at. The final boss, the Devil, I'm sorry if that is a surprise to you, is a legit chore and took me more than an hour to see through his many phases of attack. They are just patterns. I don't understand why they need to take forever too. My favorite boss was Dante's dad. He was a medium distance boss, so I had to keep distance and blast him with Beatrice's Cross. But then the arena we were fighting in started getting smaller, forcing me to rethink my strategy and purchase the counterattack skill. Luckily, I had enough souls to buy it. Had I not had the souls, I have no idea what I would have done. In action-adventure games like this, they always have to find out ways to dwarf your shooting skills so you just don't stand back and shoot your way through. Devil May Cry makes the guns unbelievably pitifully weak. This game makes Dante step forward with every shot, and then made it so that you can't fall off platforms doing it. Not bad. There are famous people in history that can be found throughout hell for you to judge. If you choose to punish, no big deal, they're already in hell. But if you choose to absolve them, you have to play a minigame that requires you to match Dragon Balls. I don't know why, but this to me is hilarious. One of the more noteworthy things about this game is the size of the devil's flaccid penis when you finally see him. I mean, it makes sense in the context of the game since he was going to unvirginize Beatrice, but then at the same time, it's too late in the game for you to feel the fear of the big D. D as in devil, of course. What did you think it stood for? The developers went super hard with this game when it came to art direction. Given that it's supposed to clone God of War, they took the tone of that game to the next level. Get it? Because hell, the 9 levels. Anyway, the unborn babies coming out of Cleopatra's nipples will haunt me anytime I think about this game. Look at them. Later on, she tries to bone you, and I'm like, nah, fam. I don't want to tongue kiss your nipples and swallow dead unborn babies. Not even for the story. I had to stop production for a second so that we can talk about this. Dante's Inferno was made by EA, but it was also made by Visceral Games. Now, Visceral Games is they're the makers who made Dead Space, and they just got disbanded by EA and shut down because EA doesn't believe that story-driven linear games make any money. Now, I don't believe Dante's Inferno really made that much money, and I'm sitting here talking about how great the game is and how the stories work so well and how wonderful it is, and then I just noticed that it was made by Visceral Games, and well, they're correct. I mean, when God of War came out, there was just a bunch of God of War type games in this genre that came out and flooded the market so much that people got tired of it. And that fatigue created a backlash, which made story-driven games not very profitable anymore. And we all know that EA is all about maximum profits. They don't really care about anything else. So unless story-driven games start to pick up and people really care about them a lot, EA is not going to care about them at all. It just really sucks that they stopped a company that was so good at making story-driven games from even existing anymore. That means that great story-driven games like Dante's Inferno or Dead Space or the upcoming Star Wars game that everybody was interested in are all never going to happen again under this company, because that's it for Visceral. You know, it's a shame. It sucks. This is one of the games I feel EA did well. But because there are so many other God of War clones, it got written off. It's the law of diminishing returns. When a game defines a genre, people can't help but to make the comparison. But, artistically speaking, I don't think it's fair to always point out the inspiration of the artwork in a negative way. This game should have been regarded more for what it does well than whether or not it copied concepts from another, more popular game. Fair enough? So there you have it, Dante's Inferno for PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. All the artwork was stellar. The stages were very interesting. The puzzles were good. Like the voice acting was on point, and I actually got something out of the story. Like, what's going on here? You know. Anyway, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. This game was really good. But anyway, that's all I got. Yeah, so the recap of the story is going to be on the last, the final boss takes a while. So, you know, if you don't want to play the game, go ahead and check it out. Or if you have played the game and you just want to remember what it's like, then go ahead and check out the final boss takes a while. If you like the artwork that I did, craftyacuity.org. All of that artwork is for sale. My whole portfolio's on there. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Patreon is the place where you can go if you want to just give me money so that I can get out of this dungeon right here. I hope you love my flower background thing going on. Also, guys gotta do me a favor and have a very nice day until I see you on the next Dad's Free Time Game Reviews. You know, do good. Have wonderful luck. Anyway, peace.